Alright guys, you've already added your reference geometry to your cams, or at least one of your cams, and now you're going to insert it into the Automata simulation. So I've already opened up the Automata simulation to save us a little time. You're going to go up to the top left corner and click Place. Then you're going to have to find where your folder where you saved your cam. In this case I saved it in my Automata simulation folder. And now I'm pulling my cam into the simulation or to the assembly. If I click once, it'll put one down. I can keep clicking and put more and more and more down. In this case, I just want one of them. So I'm going to just put one in and delete the other. So you can do this. It doesn't really matter the order of the steps. The first thing I'm going to choose to do is I'm going to constrain the work axis going through the hole in my cam to the shaft axis here. So those should snap together and make a nice satisfying sound. Notice now my cam is locked on that axis, but I can move it all along that axis. Now I'm going to constrain the mid plane that we created earlier of our cam to the plane on the follower. And great, now those are locked together. Notice I can only rotate my cam now. Notice when I'm rotating this cam, or when I'm rotating the camshaft, they're not rotating together. Okay, so we need to make those get locked together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take from my cam and looking over on the left hand bar here, I can open up any part in this assembly and look at everything associated with it. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to look under the origin folder, and I'm going to look for, let's see, which plane do I want. Sometimes you got to kind of zoom in to see what you're looking at. And as I hover over these different planes, I can see which one I'm looking for. I'm looking for this plane, the YZ plane. So I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to constrain. So I want that YZ plane, and I want the plane from my shaft. And now those are stuck together. They should be at least. So now when I turn the crank, notice that the camshaft also turns. Okay, very important. It's going to turn with it. Okay, now I also need my follower to move, to be touching my camshaft. So let's see if we can't zoom in a little better here. Getting lost. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into constrain, and I'm going to look for transitional constraint. That means it's something that transitions as motion happens. So I'm going to go in here. Sometimes it can be hard to choose things because you got boxes, you got other parts in your way. I'm going to choose the outer edge of my cam, and then often you have to kind of change your view. I go over here usually and click on this guy, and I can kind of get a different view of the whole assembly. I'm going to zoom in now and choose the bottom of my follower. And it says it cannot be solved. So I have to figure out why it cannot be solved. Sometimes these can be a little finicky. Sometimes you kind of have to play with these a little bit. Let's see what we did wrong here. So again, constrain, transitional constraint. Should be able to click the bottom of my follower and this face of my cam. There we go. I think I must have just clicked the edge of the cam on accident. So sometimes just deleting a constraint and starting over is helpful. So now I click OK, and now you notice my follower is touching my cam. That's a good sign. And now what we want to see is when I turn the shaft, look it. As I turn the shaft, the follower moves with the cam. That's exactly what we're looking for. Awesome. So now I need to figure out exactly how my cam is performing or what's happening. So what you can do is choose a 0 degree wherever you want your 0 to be. Doesn't really matter. And what we're going to do is we're going to create an angle constraint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose, let's go to constrain. I'm going to choose this angle type constraint. I'm going to choose the plane from my camshaft, and I'm just going to choose the top of the box. and this is the type of angle I want. So right now that's what's a 0 angle, so there's 0 angle between these two. I can change that value to 45. I can change that value to 90. Okay, I can change it to anything. So that's now applied a 90-degree angle. Or maybe I went to a 0 actually. If you want to change your angle, you can come over here and right-click on your angle constraint. Right-click and hit Edit. And then we should be able to change it. Let's go to a 45 degree. Oops, I didn't like that. Let's see what happened there. So again, thinking about what parts you're dealing with. So right now I'm constraining the top of the box to the shaft. So let's go look at the box. So look at, I see I accidentally made two angle constraints here. So I was clicking on the wrong one. Let's go to this one that's at 90 degrees, edit. Let's change it to 45. And there, now you can see it's changed to 45. And what I want you to do is at each of these different intervals, I want you to come and I want you to measure. So go to Tools, Measure. And you can measure from the top of the box to the top of your follower. Now you might want to adjust your follower for your automata. Your follower can be a different height. So I can show you how to adjust that as well. But right now I'm seeing a value of 3.196, so that's the height from the top of the follower to the top of the box. And then what I'm going to do is adjust that angle constraint. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to edit my angle constraint. And now let's try 135 degrees. And then I'll remeasure it again with that Tools, Measure tool. And that'll give me a new value. And I can do that so forth through each of those angles. That way you can check and see if your cam is doing what you want your cam to do. Okay, hopefully that was helpful. Good luck. Have fun.